but somebody like him, a youth of that internet time. Anyways, but instead of, like, when I see a celebrity, sometimes I don't say anything, sometimes I say something. This time I just went with, "Are you Jacob?" Like, no last name. Like, I could have been thinking he was like, "Call Jacob." You guys seen those signs? "Call Jacob now. Sponsored by Lakers." Sponsor. I was like, wow, he's killing it. Sometimes I get really upset at billboards, and then I'm like, am I my dad? And then I'm actually in the car with my dad, and I'm like, I'm not my dad. I'm actually not my dad, and I'm thankful for that. No, but I mean, everybody needs a little road rage. I think it adds to the real movement of the LA traffic scene. Like, my dad was turning into, thank God it's somebody who was already in the room. Oh, that's always a surprise entrance. Give it up for Bobby effing Peterson, everybody. Welcome back. But no, what was I even gonna say? Anybody been to the movie theaters lately?
Yep.
Yeah. I love them. That's it. I don't really like this whole new thing where it's like every new big movie that comes out, they have to like redesign the popcorn bucket like in a brand new, like never before seen way. Like that feels like a really like just a waste of fucking time. I don't know about that. But no, I'm in the car with my dad, and we were near the Grove, and he turns in a lane, and this guy doesn't like it. He honks, and he like, "Yeah, you don't like that? You don't like that?" And he rolls the window down, and he, you know, lets the finger out so we can see it. And I'm like, this is like, you know, like when this is how things happen. You know, like this is how, like, nothing good I don't think has ever come of something like this. I was like, Dad, it's okay, everything's fine. Let's turn on some Sirius XM. Come on, come on. Let's make this not a CRV at home again. And then we keep going, and he's like, "Is this motherfucker following me?" I don't even look to check. I'm like, "You're crazy." I was like, "Let me just pull." I'm like, "You're insane. Nobody's following you." We turn into the Grove. We're in one lane. The lane next to us, it's the guy. It is the guy, and he was following, and he rolled the window down, and he was like, "Hey, fuck you," and I was like, "Fuck you," and then at the end, both of them were just going back and forth, going, "Da-da-da-da-da-da." And I was like, "Can you go get his card?" I was like, I've never seen you socialize that much with a stranger in so long. You know what I mean? I was like, that is your new best friend. What are you doing? It's a truck. You can move stuff together. Like, this is so stupid. I felt like doing like a misconnections, like, to the newspaper. Is that still a thing? Love's real, you guys. Summer of love. I love everybody in this room. I'm your host tonight. I'm Sam. You can find me here on honestly a given day. Please give it up for our team tonight. We have our producer, Jason Ham, everybody. Give it up for Jackie. Doing social media. Jackie does everything. And please also, if you don't even know her, please still clap. Our director, our owner, our host with the most, Sunda Kroonquist. You can find her face on the wall. She called me today. We both didn't recognize each other's voices, and she said, "I meant to call your mom, but how are you doing?" And I was like, no way, no way. But who's ready to get this night started? I'm so excited to bring up this first comedian of the night. Welcome back, Ewan Woon.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Yeah, what did the Australian chess player say to the waiter? Said, "Checkmate." You know, Shaquille O'Neal's like the happiest man on earth, right? Thank you. Yeah, you know, he's so jolly and stuff. I think because no one's ever messed with him. You know, like, how can you bully someone who's so tall that his crotch is in your face, right? It's like, "Hey, Shaq, give me your lunch money." Never mind. Yeah, I've seen these billboards all over Hollywood about this blind guy who climbed Mount Everest. But then I was thinking, how did he know he's on top of Everest, you know? I mean, for all he knows, he could have been like right over there on top of Mount Whitney, you know? I was thinking that's actually a pretty good business idea. Taking blind mountain climbers up to the top of Mount Everest. Yeah, a couple weeks back, North Korea sent over 200 balloons over to South Korea. And they were loaded with like garbage and excrement. But that's not exactly a, you know, accurate statement, because they weren't filled with shitty trash. No, they were packed with Dane Cook's jokes. And, you know, in retaliation, South Korea set up these loudspeakers, right? And they're like blasting like anti-communist propaganda and like K-pop, right? And in retaliation for that, North Korea set up their own loudspeakers. But North Korea, they don't have bands like BTS and stuff like that, you know? So they just blast like the most annoying sounds they can think of. Yeah, you guessed it. Matt Rife comedy special. Hey, you know, there's a new disorder going around called Usher syndrome. Yeah, it makes you go blind and deaf. It's pretty serious, right? You know, I always thought when you got Usher syndrome, it just made you go, yeah. Yeah, Other day I was eating pizza, you know. It's kind of depressing eating pizza by yourself, right? And it's like eating cake or getting drunk by yourself. Basically like my last birthday. Yeah, I've had sex with like, you know, white women, black women, Asian, Mexican. In my opinion, Asian women give the best blowjobs. Yeah. If any of you ladies like to prove me wrong, meet me in the bathroom in the back later. Yeah, I have a little dog. She's a little Chihuahua dog. She's so cute, you know. She's so cute that when other dogs see her, they go, "Oh my gosh, that dog is so cute." And then they go, "Oh my gosh, I can talk." Yeah, I was driving around the other day and I got pulled over by a horse cop. Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't even know he was behind me, and then I just hear this, woo, woo. It wasn't a siren making that sound either, it was a horse. Yeah, I was the United States Army, 1st Cavalry Division, Fort Hood. Yeah, it's pretty cool, you know. It was weird being the only Asian person, though. Yeah, every day people were just looking at me like, "Are we supposed to shoot this guy?" Yeah, well, I got a buddy, he's Muslim, right? So he doesn't eat pork, you know? But he's always trying to pork shame me and stuff. He's always like, "Oh, gross, you eat bacon and sausage?" I'm like, "Man, I'm Korean, right? We eat dog, right?" Yeah, you know, scientists reported earlier this year, for the first time, 2 male humpback whales having sex. Hollywood's already going to make a movie about it. Yeah, they're going to call it Humpback Mountain. Yeah, it's weird how language changes over time, right? Like nowadays, if a guy came up to me and told me he was going to blow my brains out, I wouldn't know whether to run away or pull my pants down. Hey, you know the NFL has 1 Asian player, and he's a kicker. Could you not find a more racist position for this guy? What, is he going to go out barefoot in a karate uniform? Yeah, I was watching a show the other day, this Bigfoot show, and it struck me as how dedicated these Bigfoot hunters were. And, you know, they're so devoted to something that might not even be real. Like comedians in their careers. Let me tell you a story. Or, okay, no, yeah, I'll tell you a story. The day when I saw real-life cowboys, right? If you've never seen real-life cowboys, they're pretty impressive, you know? Yeah, like I was driving across country, and then I was driving through Nebraska, right? And then I got off the freeway, you know, because I wanted to look around. And right when I did that, I was like, "Oh man, this is a huge mistake." Because right in front of me was like 50 cows, right? Just like a huge wall of cows coming at me. So I stopped my car, I'm like, "Oh, now what am I supposed to do, you know?" And I'm like, maybe I should back up or something. But then right then, they start parting, you know? And then I could see why, right? Because these 2 guys are riding up on horses, you know? And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," right? And so because of that, they're parting, you know? They're doing that for me, right? So I drive past them, you know, and I'm looking up at them. I'm like, "Man, these guys are freaking pretty impressive, right?" They're both like 6'3", like maybe 240 pounds, you know? The older one's maybe like 35, the younger one's maybe 25, right? And they both have like cowboy hats and jean jackets and pistols and shit, you know? Like, I was in the Army, right? So I seen some tough people. But these motherfuckers like tough as nails, you know? And I was just looking at them like, damn, look at these guys, man. It's fucking impressive. And then I jerked off and went on my way. I'll tell you another story. The day I met The Rock, right? You know, I was in Hollywood getting my DMV, or at the DMV, right, getting my license renewed with my buddy, right? We're waiting in line, and he's like, "Hey, you see that guy over there?" And there's some guy like in the middle, like talking to one of the supervisors. I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I think that's The Rock, right?" And I look at him, and I'm like, "No, I don't think so, right?" Because he looked kind of slim. But then he smiles, right? And I'm like, "You know what? Maybe, you know?" And I look around the room, and everyone's just kind of looking at him, right, and pointing at him. And then you feel this like excitement, like building in the room, right? It's like literally every second, it's like building, building. And at one point, this girl screams, "It's The Rock!" Right? And everyone's like, "Oh shit!" Anyway, I go to get my picture taken, right? And he cuts the line, right? He cuts right in front of me, you know? So he's standing there, like right there, just looking at me, you know? And I could have asked for his autograph or handshake or anything. But I was so starstruck, you know? I couldn't do anything. All I could do was just stare at him and go. And so he's just looking at me like, whatever. And he went and turned, he got his picture taken. And then after a bunch of people were coming up to him, you know, getting autographs and stuff. And I was watching him, you know, I was like, man, he's so cool, you know? You could just tell that he was just so happy that people were being nice to him, you know? I was like, man, if I ever see The Rock ever again, I'm gonna go right up to him. Because it's The Rock, I can't help myself. I'll tell you a couple more jokes. Yeah, this past, whatever, Oscars, I was watching it. Towards the end, I was getting excited, you know? I was like, hey, look, they're bringing back the Mummy. But then I saw, I was like, oh no, that's just Al Pacino. Yeah, I was talking to this guy the other day. He told me he was Persian. I was like, "You're Persian? From Persia?" And he was like, "Yeah, where are you from?" I was like, the Han Dynasty, I guess. Yeah, you know, this past April 4th is a new national holiday. It's a now National Burrito Day. It's pretty cool, right? And then the very next day, April 5th, it's now National Toilet Clogging Day. Alright, I'll end with this last joke. You know, comedians will always tell you two things, right? They'll always tell you when they just get booked on a show, and they'll always tell you when they just had sex. That's a bit juvenile, right? Like myself, I haven't been booked on a show in over a month. But I did get laid last week, so whoo! My name's D1, I'm out of here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We have a house, yeah. Sam, you look so different.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? Jesus.
A little bit of a metamorphosis like Sailor Moon. Okay, so we're gonna go on just for the next comedian. Everybody, welcome to the stage, Bobby fucking Peterson.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, alright. I don't know, wasn't right.
You gotta grab the bottom part.
Fuck it. I was gonna do this anyway. Yeah, I'm Bobby fucking Peterson. Thanks for having me. Jack, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we were just talking about you actually. Me and Sam. I love your stuff. You're great.
Oh.
Yeah. She was talking about how you had a clip up that did really well, and I was like, that's dope. And then you showed up, and I'm like, great. That was a stupid story, but all right. Been in a shitty place lately, Los Angeles. I mean, yeah, it's pretty. I don't know. When you live here all your life, it's kind of you kind of realize it's a gross place. Like people come out here going to Venice Beach and shit and Hollywood and stuff like on vacation, and then I don't know. It's. I don't know. Sorry. I think I had too much THC earlier. But yeah, okay, so I was born and raised in Culver City, you know, the soft, chewy center of West LA. It's a bubble. I'm a bubble boy. And the real world, like, never really, like, got to me, never touched me. I wish somebody had touched me, or, you know, maybe beat me or something, because at least you know who I was by now. If not famous, I'd be infamous. You know, a few less redheaded chicks, but you know who I was. All right. Yeah. So I realized I needed to change. I'm thinking of changing my name to start maybe Francis. Gonna buy a big ass van, paint it diarrhea brown, and hit the road, and people will be like, "Hey, look, there goes Diarrhea Van Frank." Thank you. All right. Yeah, and if that doesn't work for me, I've been thinking of becoming a sexy woman. Yeah, right, with big old tits. Because I'm sick of working for a living. No, I say that because there's this lady who comes into my work, and she's very sexy, big tits, dumb as fuck, but rich. And I'm like, how does that work? Okay, this isn't going well. All right. But here's something I've been thinking about, and I don't know how well this is gonna go. So, my dad used to take me fishing when I was little, and we'd set up, and then he'd walk off into the bushes with his rod. Right? He'd come back later and like almost immediately catch a fish. I'd be like, what were you doing in there, Dad? And he's like, I'll tell you when you're ready. And so after years of this secret disappearing into the woods, I think I was like 13. He's like, okay, it's time. So he comes up to me, he says, son, we come from a long line of fishermen. Your grandfather, your great grandfather, and we have some family secrets. And I want to teach you my my secret masturbating technique. So I'm like, I told you this. Basically, I'm gonna say masturbating a lot, but talk about a guy setting a hook. I gotta work on that. I'll bring it back next week. Yeah. I work with dogs.
Yeah.
Dog whisperer, I've been told, but I gave up on that because I met Bear, and Bear was a 150-pound Mastiff with an ASMR fetish. When you whisper to Bear, Bear gets a boner. And oh god, terrible times. That's why I'm not this is going rough tonight for me, but I'm loving it. I got here 2 hours early for this. I've been sitting in my car, I should have been writing. What else I got? Saw a homeless lady the other day selling flowers, like Monday coming up. She had a sign that said, I'm poor, please help, and she was selling flowers. And that just doesn't seem like a good marketing technique to me. I don't know. Yeah. How much time do I have?
You have 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes. Let's see, what stories do I have? Let's do impressions. Okay, start with this one. My baby did! My baby. That's someone whose baby died. Shit. Okay, gay Dracula. I want to suck your dick. Thank you. Okay. Dracula about to come. Oh, I'm going to ejaculate. Okay. There's one more. Well, he reminded me of it last time. I didn't bring the paper with it. Oh, here's something. I wrote down a note the other day. My gardener came up to me, my parents' gardener, and I had to ghost him because he was asking for my number because he wanted to hang out with me so I could introduce him to white girls. Yeah, it was weird. He's like, I'll give you free weed. I don't know. It was weird. That's a true story though. Yeah. I'm really drawing blanks. Okay, my friend's dad was a gardener. That's a thing. Speaking of gardeners, and he was one of those guys who would just like all day just with a hose, just spraying everything, washing the sidewalk, just running up the water bill. But yeah, one day I worked with him, me and my friend, and one day we came back from work and we hear his dad in the shower. And my friend's like, he's been in there a long time. I was like, oh yeah? He's like, yeah, since we left. I'm like, oh shit. So we break open the door. His dad's dead in the shower. True story. But like I told my friend, he died doing what he loved, wasting water. So I mean, my friend's okay with that joke. I told him. Yeah, my dad is very strict by the rules and all that. And like he won't smoke weed with me, so I'm just hoping he gets cancer. So maybe we could smoke weed together. Okay. My dad's okay with that joke, I told him. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm Bobby fucking Peterson, thank you.
Give it up for Bobby. Bobby, have a beautiful everybody. You can find him on Instagram by that name.
Oh yeah, that too.
I'm sorry I stepped out for a minute. That couple was amazing. I hope they come back. I hope it was worth what I've missed. But no, we're shocked to see in this sea of a city we live in. But who's ready for our next meeting? This is truly a Wacky Wednesday. What a turnout! I'm so glad everybody's here. Happy to be here. And I'm so happy to bring up Benny Blue.
Yeah! Yeah! Fucking A, bro! Yeah! Oh my God.
Bobby, I just picture in your car for fucking 2 hours doing my baby dad. He's like, I should have wrote that down. I'm like, I think you wrote it. It's there. Happy Juneteenth, everybody! Happy Juneteenth, or as I like to call it, Free Parking Meter Day, the BET Uncut version. So that's fun. Must be that ass because it ain't your face. I need a tip drill. All right. It is so glad to be here. So happy I opened with hot riffs. You know, just the hottest riffs. You know. Thank you for your service. God, I haven't been here in a minute. Holy shit. I was at Costco earlier today. The place is a fucking nightmare. The place is the worst. I feel like you can't let just anybody into Costco because most people in Costco just get in the way. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like for me, my experience at Costco is like it's the opposite of a sinking ship. You know what I mean? Women and children last. You know, like I have 2 years worth of toilet paper and an overactive bladder. Now let me on the fucking lifeboat. You know what I'm saying? Daddy's gotta go. You know, fucking IBS. Also, old people shouldn't be allowed at Costco because old people they got the double wide carts and they like to do the stop and chat in the aisles. You know what I mean? Like, hey Gramps, this isn't your local market. This is a demolition derby of capitalism. Now get out of the way so I can save $20 on Kirkland sweatpants that I don't need. You know what I'm saying? Get out of the way. I have priorities. All right, sorry for yelling. Nice to be here. Juneteenth, that really crushed. I was just joining us, and all 7.5 of you on Pornhub. It's great to be here. I was out of town for a bit. I was in Chicago. It was great. Beautiful time to be in a place like Chicago, you know. Summertime shy, as the artist formerly known as Kanye West would say. I like being in a place like Chicago because in Chicago, I'm a 10, and here, I'm a 7.5 with mommy issues. It's all going to shit. It is summertime though. I'm pale, obviously. Don't let that lights fool you. In fact, they make it worse. I'm super pale. I'm so pale that like when I take my shirt off at the beach, like people get super offended. Like, whoa, Jesus, fuck! How's it reflecting off of you, dude? Jesus, put that shit back on. You know what I'm saying? It's bad. And anytime I'm out in the sun for a while, I will get sunburned, and inevitably there is someone there to tell me that I am sunburned. And for those of us in the Pale Patrol, we've been getting that our whole lives. But now that I am a consenting taxpayer, I have a new rule. And that rule is you get to tell me that I'm sunburned when I get to tell you that that cold sore on your lip is your herpes coming back. That's the exchange. That's the one-to-one. Sunburn for STI. I think that's fair. Fair currency, you know. Getting sunburn sucks because it's literal proof that you failed. You know what I mean? Like you're just wearing failure at that point. You know, like you had one job, and when you go outside, and it was to make sure that you didn't wince when you took a shower that night. You know what I mean? Just like, oh God. Like a boiled lobster, you know what I'm saying? So getting sunburned as an adult is a bit ridiculous because it kind of shows that you're not really ready for real adulthood, you know what I mean? Like, how am I expected to protect my children when I can't protect my own skin? You know, I can't raise a life. I can't even handle mine. It's going very poorly, much like the set. All right, moving on along. Let's see here. You were talking about dogs. Fucking, I don't own a dog. I wish to. I like to foster dogs. You know what I mean? But I love dogs. Cats are cool. You know, cats are alright. I've warmed up to cats as I get older. I don't really trust cats. You know what I mean? Cats kind of have sort of a, you know, like a untrustworthy prostitute vibe to them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not any good. Like you'd be like, hey kitty, can you watch my stuff? And then you come back, and then the kitty has sold it all for crack. And then you're like, hey kitty, what happened? Like you can't reason with a cat. They're very mercurial creatures. You know what I mean? But dogs are very sweet. I love dogs. Dogs are very simple, very sweet. Dogs are the only animal I think that exists that, like, when you see them, you immediately forget how to speak English when you start to speak them. Have you ever been to somebody's house before, like for the first time, and then they have a dog, and then you're immediately like, oh man, your kitchen's fucking. Oh, it's a good boy. Oh, it's a good. Oh, it's a good boy. Like you just fucking brain damage instantly. Is what I'm saying. All right, let's see here. I am planning a wedding. Thank you. Tap of applause. You're married. I'm happy about it. My favorite part about getting married is not having to listen to the discourse about dating anymore. I'm done with it. Have at it. It's all over, you know. So now I feel like I'm free to say whatever the fuck I want, you know, because I'm off the game, baby. It's all over. Like, I was at a party and I was listening to somebody talk, and she was complaining about a guy not texting her back. You know, common problem that the young people have. And so because I don't care anymore, I went full social assassin, and I was like, maybe it's because you're boring. And then, like I said, I had to drop that grenade in there, which is a nice party trick if you want to sit in the corner and drink alone and eat pigs in a blanket. That's a surefire way to make sure nobody wants to converse with you. It works pretty well. Let's see here. I am, speaking of Juneteenth, I am dating a black woman. I'm engaged to a black woman because I am a hero. I am a hero, and I can tell that I did good because old black men try to propose to my future wife all the time. It's pretty amazing. We live in the valley, so we live in like a cool neighborhood. Like, we like to walk, try to get our 10,000 steps, you know. So she likes to go for long walks, and inevitably, a 60-year-old black man in a fedora with the fucking Bluetooth earpiece, bowling shirt, looks like he could really kill it on the grill, you know what I mean? Like, he'll pull up on her in like a 1976 Pontiac Thunderbird that he thinks is a classic, but is just the remnant of a very painful divorce 20 years ago. And he'll crank down the window, analog people, he'll crank down the window, and he'll be like, "Excuse me, beautiful, I don't mean to bother you, but all I'm saying is, I'll put a ring on it if you let me put my thing on it." And they'll just hit the eyebrows like this. And she'll have to take her AirPods out, like, "Oh, sir, I'm sorry, sir, your car's leaking oil all over the place." Just fucking go down fucking Sepulveda. It's a nice to know that, you know, the AARP crowd wants my lady. So that's pretty fun. Yeah. How am I doing on time? Good people.
You got 4.
4 minutes. All right, just enough time for extra bombs, baby. A couple extra grenades. Yeah, let's see here. God damn it. Yeah, I was out of town, like I said. I feel like people who don't live here think that we live in like a political bubble. I think that's a thing. You know what I mean? Like, they think that we're all just like gluten-free and vegan and have some sort of vague nut allergy that every restaurant in town knows about. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people don't think that we go through shit. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not that we don't go through shit in LA. It's just we wear it better. That's the difference, you know? For example, moms in LA have it tough, you know? Hard to be a mom, but you can't tell because their face doesn't move from all the Botox and filler. You know what I'm saying? It's just they're frozen in time. They're gonna be 37 forever, you know? Like, that's how... Like, I'm fucking 36, and now I have friends that have already, like, been through, like, a bunch of just fucking domestic hell, you know what I mean? Like, anytime I see my friends back home from where I grew up, they look like they've been to Vietnam, you know what I mean? Like, except their fucking tour of duty was fucking 3 layoffs, 2 divorces, and a kid they can see with a court-appointed social worker, you know what I mean? Like, just in a park, just fucking crushing it. And they have a 1,000-yard stare, but their PTSD is from hearing the Bluey theme blare from their kid's iPad while they're hiding from them in the bathroom scrolling TikTok. You know what I mean? It's just, they're going through it. That's what I'm saying. And it shows on their face and skin. All right, moving right along. Yeah. Like I said, I am with a black woman, and we like to go hiking because she likes watching old white people in the wild. That's her fun thing to do. So we like to go to we like to come to this side of town, like the west side. We like to go to the Pacific Palisades, which is like an old white people preservation camp, I think, which is pretty cool. And like anywhere and you go to hike in LA, you're bound to walk past, like, we all have walked past like the shitty LA conversations, you know what I mean? Like when you're like, "Oh my god, I did so much coke last night," like you just hear that fucking running and shit. Except when you do it at Pacific Palisades, it's like the Overheard LA Instagram account on Metamucil and prune juice. It's just a lot of older people. So the other week we were hiking out there, and we walked past a couple of older women who clearly had like college age grandkids, and they were complaining about the cost of college. And one of the women was like, "How can middle class people like us afford to send our kids to college?" While she was fucking head to toe in Lululemon, holding a fucking bucket of Fiji water. You understand? Like, you're not fucking. I just stop them and say, "Ma'am, do you remember how much college cost in your day? $7. It cost $7. And then when you wanted to buy a house, it was $34, $23 if you wanted to live in the black neighborhood. And that was with inflation and in 2024 money, you know what I'm saying? And also, I grew up middle class. You don't get to say you grew up middle class unless you fucking grew up with a fucking, every night having dinner was hamburger helper with a side of asbestos. That was fucking growing up middle class. You understand what I'm saying? All right, guys have been gay, and you've been great. How many
Yeah.
Boo everybody, boo everybody! And please keep the love. I mean, like, let's bring the love, honestly. Like, where the love at? Clap it up for yourselves. Yeah. Clap it up for Benny Blue. And clap it up for this next comedian. Let's give a warm LA School of Comedy welcome to Wacky, everybody. You ready?
That's graceful.
It's Herb Walker, but my handwriting is fucking terrible. So you guys look fun. Feels like a Reddit chat room. This is fun. Comedy. We're doing it. I'm happy this isn't one of those like all arts open mics. I hate those. I hate, because like stand-up's one of like the only arts where you instantly know how good you are. You know what I mean? Like these poetry people, they'll go up and they'll be like, "Oh my god, I got 5 snaps, bro. I killed it tonight." It's like, yo, I just stared at this audience while everyone looked like they hated me. Like, and I'm about to go drive home like an hour. This is fun. You guys are fun. I love you. Let me pull out my phone. I didn't know it was 10 minutes. This mic is high. I'm also high. I'm not high. I'm on Stratera. Anyone know about Stratera?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. ADD. I think California is interesting. I'm originally from the South, right? I'm from Florida, which is cool. I'm not gonna figure out how this works. But Florida's cool. But moving out here, I think there's like some big cultural differences. Like I think out here, like people in California, they treat dogs differently. You know, like people like love dogs out here, which is cool, I guess. But it kind of feels like there's more like dogs out here that have health care than people. You know, and like I don't know. I'm kind of jealous of these dogs' treatment. You know, like I was driving down the road the other day and I saw a Shih Tzu in like a car with like a Gucci vest and like some Gucci shoes. And guys, I'm not kidding. I have never wanted to be a Shih Tzu so bad in my entire life. I was like, you have no responsibilities. You just get to go pee everywhere and like just have fun. Like that's your job. I work in finance. That's yeah. So summation, fuck that dog. But you know, I don't think I think it's kind of weird. Like people treat like dogs like they're babies. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, it's my baby. I gotta take care of it. It's like, yo, before I came here, I legit saw a dog try and eat a bird and then lick his balls. I've never seen a baby do that. Ever. Like never. But you know, the dogs are also kind of bougie. I think that's another thing. Like the other day, like the same day I saw the dog with the vest. I saw a dog like legit walk past a homeless person, and call him a broke bitch. And then like I tried to stop and I was like, hey, you can't call that dog, the homeless guy, that's fucked up. And then the poodle like threw money at me and told me to buy some new clothes. I was like, that's fucked up. But yeah, I think it is true though. I think for like humans and like dogs, like there's a couple big differences, you know. Like I think for a dog it's like a lot easier to have a great life, you know. For like a human, you need like a really nice car, have like a beautiful partner, have a lot of money. But for a dog to have like a really good life, like all you really need to do is just be born into like a white family, and 9 out of 10 times you're gonna be alright. I guess probably like the worst case scenario for a dog, like would probably be to be born to like a family in China that also happened to be a butcher. Cool. A lot of people say that I act white, which is really interesting because I don't know if you guys know this, but I am not acting. I cannot turn this off because I wake up every day like this. But I think I like the idea though that like I wake up black and then like I meet people and then I turn white. Like I think that's a funny idea, you know? Like I wake up like 6 in the morning, I'm just like, ah. Hey nigga. Why does that sound so white? Hey, that's right. Hey, I'm ready to start my motherfucking day. We gonna make some fucking oatmeal. Oh wait, I'm getting a call from my boss, John. Let me answer that hoe. Hey John, how are you? I'll have your report in the morning, when I get in the office. I just think it's kind of racist though, you know? Like it's actually extremely racist because like what you're really saying is that the only way to be black is to be a stereotype, you know? It's like, I'm sorry white people, all black people don't fuck with Tim's on. Like it's... and it feels like it only applies to like black people, you know? Like nobody's ever like, yo, bro, you're acting Mexican as shit today, bro. You're acting Muslim as shit, like that's... It does come in handy though, acting white. I will tell you guys that it does come in handy. Sometimes I actually, it's actually helped me out a lot with like police, you know? Like I lean into it at times, you know? Like I drive a Honda Civic, you know? Because I'm like, I want police to look at my car and go, wow, that guy's definitely going to a farmer's market. Like that's, he's gonna go like finger paint and shit. Like I don't know. I also put like one of those like coexist stickers on the back of it. You know what I mean? Cool. I used to masturbate a lot. I still do, but just not with the same enthusiasm. Like before, when I was younger, it's like, yeah, let's go masturbate again. And I was like, yo, you're fucking masturbating again? Like, it's fucking weird. I'm actually a bit concerned that like I've killed like all the like good sperm cells, and so now like I'm just gonna have stupid kids. You know what I mean? Like it's like my kid, he's gonna come up to me and he's gonna be like, hey dad, how come I failed the 4th grade like 10 times? I'm gonna have to be like, yo, it's because I had like a little bit too much free time between the ages of 16 and 21. That's why. That's why. I've been doing stand-up for a little bit. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Now you guys are just gonna be in suspense. You never know what that joke was. It was good though. It was. My sister. Thank you for that. My sister. She's getting older. She's like 26, and like I don't know if it's like a woman thing, but like each time she like gets old, like has another birthday, she like reminds me that like she still isn't married and that she's like missing her opportunity to become a mother. And so I'm like, that's kind of weird you're telling me that, but like I'm her brother, you know, so I like to fuck with her, you know, like I like try to like remind her of it sometimes, you know, just to fuck with her. Like the other day she tripped and I was like, oh shit, there goes 6 eggs. That's and then, you know, like if she gets like a little too angry, I'm like, oh fuck, not another egg. That's and then she like kindly after like a bit she came up to me and she's like, hey, you're really freaking me out. And I was like, all right, I don't want you to get too freaked out. We want to lose another 10 eggs. That's you guys have been great. Give it up for your host.
Give it up for her, everybody. That was fantastic. Everybody get seated, get comfortable, get happy, go to the bathroom. Give it up for Jason, our producer, everybody. Go, yeah, get the fuck out of here. Go. This is a fantastic night. I'm so excited to bring up this next comedian. Please clap your hands for Sarush, everybody.
We got a laptop today.
Yes, sir.
Well, I don't even know what was to say about it. Yeah, we got a laptop. That was pretty much it. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing good?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I love all of you. Fantastic.
Oh.
You guys are some people. I loved how you said that you don't act like a white person, like you are a white person on the inside. Because like nobody else could say that. Like you couldn't ask, Benny couldn't come up on stage and be like, yo, I don't act like a black person. Like I am a black person. It'd be a lot. It'd be a lot. Yes. Observations. I also love Benny. Benny, I love your wife, your whole story. It was really fun. I still can't believe a black dude, a 6-year-old black dude, saw Benny. You're like a tall dude. He's a tall dude. He's a tall white dude with a black woman, and they're like, I think I could. I don't feel very intimidated by him. I'm just gonna go right up and ask his girlfriend out.
I wasn't with her.
You were with? Oh, you were with her.
This is the bit, baby. Come on.
Okay. I thought you were walking with her, and then I was like, the audacity. I was like,
No.
Benny has like such an unassuming white man. But no, she was just walking
Jesus.
on her own.
AirPods in, strolling.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Happens
Wait,
all the
but
time.
you were talking how you like walking, and you guys walk together.
We hike together.
You hike together.
Yeah.
He lets her go out by herself.
Yeah.
They're together, but they're separate.
Yeah, they're both here. Okay. Those. See, that's a good distinction. No. She can do whatever she wants to do.
Yes.
I love how awkward this is.
I
It's
don't feel that.
fantastic. I also love Benny is probably in the most like amazing relationships. He was talking about it to me the other day. Very supportive. You know, both of you guys are very supportive to each other. Just the way that the bit came off, it was really funny. You're like, yeah, I'm getting married. I'm happy about it. Like, I feel like you're trying to convince yourself at that point when you say happy about it. This is just me. Like, if I were to say like, yeah, my mom's coming over, like, I'm happy about it. Like, you wouldn't be like, that man's not happy about it. That man's not happy about his mom coming over. Yeah, my mother. She's a sweet lady. I love how you felt like it was so awkward that you had to say something.
It happened.
I get so awkward sometimes too. Everybody has their little nervous quirks when they're nervous. You can say things. I feel like you play with your hands.
That's correct.
Everybody else is doing some stuff. Fantastic. Okay. About I'd say like maybe 4 months ago. Not 4 months. Yeah, 4 or 6 months ago. I went to the Congo. Not my brother, but one of my best friends from college. He is from the DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and I went to see him for his wedding. And we had a great time. And one of the things that I kept getting frustrated by was that whenever I was there, everybody would be like, "Oh, the white dude's here," but I'm not white. You know what I mean? I'm like, and they just kept having. I'm like, I'm not white though. And then they took a picture of me, and I was with a bunch of people, and I was like,
Yeah.
I see your point. I am kind of white. I thought I was just so you can see. Like I do feel like I look a little white. And one of the things that happened was I was checking out of, and there were a bunch of us that were going to visit my friend. So I get out of our hotel once. I'm like coming downstairs, and the person at the front was like, "Oh, like your parents just left. Like, can you pay for their bill? They didn't pay for their bill." They are actually white. They're an old elderly white couple. And I was like, "We're not related. They're not my parents." And they're like, "Oh," like he's like, "Oh, okay, like so you're cousins? Like, what is that? What it is?" I was like, "No, it's just like they haven't seen like a bunch of, I guess, any other race. So if you see anyone, they look very similar. Even though I don't think I look that white, but do you guys think I look white?" Okay, yes. We have a yes. I could white passing.
You could pass for white.
I could pass white. Okay. Something there. One of the things that surprised me about going to the Congo was that my friend was talking about the corruption in the United Nations peacekeeping mission, MONUSCO. And one of the crazy things about MONUSCO is that when he was telling me, I was like, I didn't believe it. Like I felt like until I looked it up, I didn't believe it. It was kind of like, I don't know what it is. Like it's kind of like my Nickelodeon experience. You know what I mean? You're like, oh my god, this amazing institution. It has all these one of my favorite cartoons. And then you find out this crazy dude was doing like all this sorts of weird innuendo stuff with the people there. I was like, all I could think about was like, I hope Timmy Turner was okay. Like what did they do to Timmy? Or SpongeBob? I was like, but then I realized the Bikini Bottom, like that. The Bikini Bottom, I feel like that should have been a sign for me. I was like, why would you name a town of Bikini Bottom? Like that's a very weird part to name. So basically, like I found out one of the things that you might not know about the corruption there is that the peacekeeping mission, it's filled with aid workers and mostly military. But the military back in 2008 stole gold. And they stole gold. There were 2 different Pakistani soldiers. They took their guns and they sold it to rebels in exchange for gold. Which is wild. Because you're like, how are you supposed to protect people without your gun? Also, you're supposed to de-escalate. You just gave them more weapons and you made yourself weaker. You made them stronger and weaker at the same time. That is, to me, is crazy. And I can't imagine what the conversation with the military leader would have been like. They're like, dude, why did you do that? And they were probably like, what are you talking about? This is a peacekeeping mission. I take a piece of gold and I keep it. This isn't a peace avoiding mission. You must be more conscious with your words. It was some other stuff that happens in the corruption was they also do kickbacks. So kickbacks is basically this form of corruption where they ask for a little sum extra with everything that they give, which is wild to me. It's kind of like they were going up to all these Congolese people and they're like, I know that, there's people shooting at you and like you're running for your lives and like, we fucked up your country, but like, what can you do for us? And one of the crazy things that happened there was during the Ebola crisis, they were upcharging people on like Jeeps to like get around and like get away from the Ebola. Everybody was fine. But it was kind of like, I feel like they were like asking them, hey, like I know that you say that your lives are like what is it called? They were like, they're priceless. Let's see how priceless they are. So that happens, and one of the things that, among the crazy corruption things, there's more and more that you could go into, but the craziest thing to me is that the UN doesn't acknowledge the corruption that they have. One of the things that they said was that we serve as good mentors, we incentivize good behavior, we make sure that these people know what is right or wrong in the Congolese government and military, which is wild to me. That's like basically two Orange County housewives talking to each other, and one of them is lecturing the other on the beauties of natural beauty. Like, we both know that you're not naturally beautiful. That's like a child, two children, babies, and one of them is lecturing the other about how not to poop your pants when he's obviously pooped his pants. Anyways, with that, I will give you back to your amazing host, Sam Lenderman.
Yeah.
Give it up for Sarush, everybody! Come on in. Does everyone remember the last time they shit their pants? I do. It's a crazy 3 weeks ago. Dining room chair. Wasn't mine. Wasn't my pants. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm getting into it. But you know it's not shit this night. I mean, it's the shit, but it's not shit. Like, I love you guys. There's 3 comedians left. How we feeling? Awesome. Great. I talked about pooping your pants. Don't you feel so free? Don't do it, though. If you have to, say something. Feel something, say something. But clap it up for your next comedian, Aaron McIntyre. Come on, Aaron. Woo!
Woo! Oh, yeah!
Hey everybody.
Hey.
I gotta put on my technician. Hey, I'm a technician. I'm gonna take care of this for you here. I'm gonna show you. You gotta screw this part in. You see, you're trying to take the microphone down, but you're not doing it right. See, now you screw that in. Then you take this and you just do it a little bit there, and then yeah, there we go. Huh? Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, everybody. All right, I've decided that I'm gonna prowl. Okay, I'm gonna prowl around. I'm gonna slash you with my comedy kid claws. And my name is Aaron. Thank you. It's Aaron. It's not Aaron. And it's not Aaron. It's Aaron. Okay, Aaron. It's not. Please don't call me Aaron again. If you knew the number of people when you say your name is Aaron who say Aaron. No, it's not Aaron. It's Aaron. It's much more exotic. It's Swedish, and it means comfy lawn chair in Swedish. And so I went to IKEA and I bought an Aaron just because I felt close. And I can't put the fucking thing together, so I have no idea what it looks like. I grew up in Florida. No, I didn't grow up in Florida. I was born. I was born in Florida. I was there for 6 days. 6 days, and then we moved to Minot, North Dakota. Beautiful place. Cold as fuck. It's the actually, if you watch the weather, most times in the winter they will say, and the cold spot in the United States today was Minot, North Dakota. So I moved from like one of the warmest places to one of the coldest places in the first 6 days of my life, and I think that's really what added to my bipolar disorder that I developed. I said I was gonna prowl, and I'm not prowling. God damn it, I gotta prowl. So yeah, so we moved to Minot. I'm a military brat. Anybody else grow up with military family? You don't know what you're missing. It's so fucking great. You get to see the world, you know? It's so fucking great. You get to move every 2 years, you know, and as a kid, that's good. You know, uproot yourself every 2 years and take you to a new place, you know? Because it allows you, if you are what I am, which is a really big pussy. Okay, I'm a big pussy. I was fucking so tortured in school my whole life, and every time we'd move, I'd be like, yeah, this is my chance, man. I get to be a new person. Yeah, I get to be a new person. All right, so who am I gonna be? All right, so I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna get a leather jacket. Yeah, get a leather jacket, and I'll get those cool jeans, you know, and I'll have to put them on when I get out of the house because my mother would never let me wear a leather jacket and jeans, but, you know, I would do that. And then I'd go to school and I'd see a cute girl and I'd go up and I'd go, hey baby, how's it going? And then that old motherfucking Aaron would pop back in and go, she's never gonna go for you, buddy. And then a guy would, you know, or some guy would come over and then the old Aaron would go, he's gonna kick your ass. And then I'd just kind of wither and I'd take off the leather jacket and I'd give it to him. And then I would slunk back to my room. Let's see. So, military. Yeah, there's nobody from the military, so I can't ask how many bases. So then we moved back to the United States for a little while, where we got my. I never wanted a fucking horse. Okay, I never wanted a fucking horse. But my brother, who had been there for a little while, and he used to ride in the rodeo. So he was a cowboy. He'd go out there and ride in the rodeo. And so he thought I needed a fucking horse, right? So they found a Shetland pony that was out with another little shitty bunch of Shetland shitheads. And they were $10. $10 for a horse, right? So you know what you're getting for $10 for a horse, right? So took us about 3 hours to get the fucking thing into the trailer, even though we could probably all just pick him up and put him in because he was so small. His name was Puzzles. Because he looked like a puzzle. And I hated that fucking horse. And my brother was like, we're gonna break that horse. We're gonna break that horse together. So we put a bunch of sacks on his back and walked him around the backyard, and we did all this stuff, put the bridle in his mouth, got him all ready. Then we went down to the creek bed. So we had a creek bed. And this is where I learned my most important lesson about drinking alcohol. And that is, don't go to AA, just get back on that fucking horse, right? We went down there and he put me on the horse would buck me off. And then he'd pick me back up and he goes, you can't let the horse know you're scared of him. And they put me back on, the horse would buck me off again. This happened 3 or 4 times, and then finally the horse would let me stay on him. So we're walking back to the house, and I'm kind of crying, but I'm getting over it. You know, I got a pony, okay, maybe it'll be good. And we come up to this ditch, and the horse just goes, and just takes off from under me. So I fall on the asphalt, bust my head, and now then they put me back on the horse, because you can't let the horse know that you're scared of him, right? So they put me back on the horse, and they're coming up the hill, and my other brother ran up to my mom, and she's going, they're killing Aaron! They're killing him! And I came up crying, so that was the beginning. And then one day on my way to school, look out, it's a snowy day, so we almost missed school. It's a snowy day, and we're driving down the road to go to school, and I look off to the side, and there's Puzzles in the ditch, and he was dead. And I went, oh, fucking thank God. Because now I didn't have to fuck with that fucker anymore. Terrible horse. Terrible horse. He used to bite me all the time. So we went to a bunch of different places, and then I decided to move out to California because I wanted to be a minority, and I am, and I'm a utilitarian. I don't know if you know about our religion, but we are very into being utilitarian. You know what I mean? It's like use things for the right fucking things. Am I right? And make things like when I take a shower, I start on this arm, and I go up and I come down to the leg, and then I go over to the left leg, or the right, that's the right leg. Go down the right leg, and then over to the arm, and then back up, right? It's utility, you know. I'm not wasting space. I'm not going here and then going there and then going here. But it also has to deal with texting, because I got a real problem with texting. You know, don't use texting for open-ended questions. Am I right? It's like, don't ask me, you know, what I think of Barb and her new car. I don't, you know, it's like, don't ask me to go tell you about, you know, the grocery store experience that I just had, or, you know, things like that. Just, it has to be closed-ended questions. It has to be, do you want to go to Starbucks? Yes. 11:30. Yes. That's it, you know? Don't the open-ended questions will kill you. If you really want to talk to me like that, just pick up the fucking phone. Am I right? Pick up the phone. We don't use phones anymore. If you want to talk to me chat about things that are happening, just pick up the phone. It's really easy. And this is to all the people out there who've been asking me these open-ended questions over text, and I haven't answered you in 3 months, okay? Just pick up the phone. I'd love to talk to you. I have a daughter, and she tells all of her friends that me and her mom are her best friends. And it's actually really nice. She's very sweet. That's why she moved to New Zealand. She lives in New Zealand. She works at a juvenile detention center. So she works at a kiddie prison for kiddie murderers and kiddie rapists, and she's a you know, skinny little white girl, you know, because her mom is white and I am too, if you haven't noticed that. And she is a badass, man. She kicks ass. She's not supposed to. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but there's a video of her actually taking down one of these kids, and he's a fucking, you know, he's like a 16, 17-year-old boy. And she, you know, he's fighting this other kid, and she just comes up and grabs him and brings him over and throws him down. I was like, yeah. I knew that she was gonna be like that when she was very young, because one time we went to she was in this really hoity-toity, like, no, that's not haughty, no, it's, what is it? Hoity-toity, thank you. I gotta put the oid in there. She went to this hoity-toity little nursery school that her mom wanted her to go to, and I didn't understand that, but we're going upstairs, so it's all these little rich white people, right, at the top of the stairs, and they're all sitting there with their martinis, and they're going, oh yes, you know, Priscilla has just been so brilliant. She colored in blue the other day, you know. And we come walking up the stairs, and my daughter hits the top of the stairs with, despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. And I was like, yeah, we taught this girl right? Yeah, she's gonna be some. We were driving down the road one time, and there was a car in front of us. It was going real slow, and it was a lady who was driving. And from the back seat, she's about 4, and from the back seat we hear, come on, lady! And I was like, I wonder where she got that from. I mean, you were talking about road rage. I am a stickler for the fucking law, okay? Use your fucking blinker, okay? Do not drive down the passing lane and then, you know, come up on a car, and when you come up and you're gonna try to pass them, they pull out next to the truck, and then they go the same fucking speed. Yeah, can you believe that? I mean, it's just ridiculous. I drive up the 5 all the time. It's just like, what are you doing? If you're going the same speed limit or speed, then just fucking stay back, you know? Wait till I can go around, because I go really fast. All right, I guess that's my time. So, my name is Aaron McIntyre, AERON MACINTYRE on all platforms. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Group prayer, everybody!
Wait, yeah.
It's not over yet because we get to see David Schneider!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Dan. Thank you so much. Now? And thanks for fixing this, by the way. I don't need it, but thanks for fixing it. Well, I just recently turned 65. Woo! Thank you. Now, I gotta tell you something, for the last 20 years, I've dreaded every birthday. A constant reminder of growing old. But not when I turned 65. See, that was a blessing, because I found the one thing that made turning 65 a gift from God. Medicare. Oh. And thanks to Medicare, all my doctor visits are free. I'm seeing doctors I never would have thought about seeing before. It's like I'm ordering off a free medical buffet, like, oh, for the appetizer. Looks like the laser mold removals are in season. Try not to fill up with those. For my entree, echocardiograms. I always wanted one of those, they're so expensive. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I'm taking one. Oh, and for desserts, there I save room for a prostate exam. I feel like such a pig. I just had one last week, but oh, those things are hard to resist. And oh, by the way, Sam, just want to let you know, can't play golf Tuesday. Pap smear. You were shitting my gun, I'll figure that one out. The fact of the matter is, I'm feeling great, but I have started to notice I'm doing old people shit lately. Like I recently purchased a magnifying glass. Yeah? How many 20-year-olds you know got a magnifying glass? No teenager ever got one for Christmas and said, how'd you know? I was worried it was going to be something boring like an Xbox, but now, oh, I could have hundreds of hours of fun reading the laundry instructions on my shirts. I no longer change the channel when a commercial comes on for reverse mortgages. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Here's the crazy shit. I don't got a mortgage, but by the time the commercial's over, I want one. I want one. Just so I can reverse it. It's interesting, the way reverse mortgages work, you borrow money on the equity on your home, okay? You pay the bank nothing while you're alive. The bank has to wait for you to die and your home sold before they get all their money back. So I did one. I did one, just so I can go to my bank once a week and look at the manager's disappointment. I'm not dead. He's offering me cigarettes, fentanyl. Sometimes to screw with him, I'll just grab my chest. Ooh, not yet. Another thing that makes me feel old, when I see a picture of a guy in a box of Depends and realize he's younger than me, makes me think, any day now. The thing about Depends that I think is interesting is like the first time you need Depends got to be the same as the first time a girl needs a tampon, right? You're both unprepared. They're shocked as shit when it happens. I like to think that when I do need Depends, I picture my dad being alive and comforting me the same way the mother comforts the girl in those tampon commercials, like, son, we have to talk. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Happens to everyone. It's a rite of passage. That means today you are a man. A really old man. Oh, shit. Even my doctor said I'm starting to show signs of old age. That my test results came back and confirmed I'm still using Facebook. I like Facebook. I like all the social media shit, you know? The only problem I got is the emojis. The ones with the double meanings. They go like right over my head. Like my wife, she does these ASMR relaxation videos on YouTube. And to be safe, she never uses her real name and nothing about her background. So when this guy sends her this eggplant emoji, which I did not know at the time an eggplant emoji is a penis, I'm thinking to myself, with all the precautions she takes, how the fuck did this guy know she's Italian? I thought it was sweet of him to notice, and I figured, he must be Italian. So I sent him an eggplant emoji. And now for some reason, we're Facebook friends. I'll tell you the one good thing about getting old. Now listen up, youngins. You learn the answer to some of life's questions. Nothing biblical. Small shit. Questions you always had your whole life. Like, my favorite singer was Sinatra. Loved Sinatra my whole life. Favorite song was A Very Good Year. Now, if you don't know the song, it's a song about a guy who's about to die, and he's reminiscing about all the good years he's had. Starts off, when I was 17, it was a very good year. Then he sings about when he was 21 and 35, and why they were all good years. Then the song's over. See, when I was young, I didn't know why the song ended at 35. Now that I'm older, I get it. After 35, the shitty years happens. And nobody wants to sing about when I was 44. My ex-wife's lawyer said she wanted more. Took every dime and left me poor. I should have killed that greedy whore. When I was 53, found blood in my stool, hence a colonoscopy. Doctor drilled me like I was a Liberace. When I was 68, took an hour and a half just to urinate. Goddamn, I swollen prostate. Wish my life would terminate. When I was 68. They just don't write music like that anymore. Some stuff I never did before. One thing I noticed about lately is everything's got a warning on it. They didn't have that shit when I was young. Everything's got a warning. Like recently I called, I was on hold forever with the claims department of my health insurance, and right away you get this recording. You've reached Anthem Blue Cross. If this is a medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Are there people who really don't know that? Some guy with multiple stab wounds, his first reaction is to hold 40 minutes for claims? A rebel will call 911 on his terms after he finds out the copay for a new spleen. Recently I see this ad for a new product you spray down your throat. Oh, just let me know when it's done, I'll get off. See this ad for a new product you spray down your throat to stop snoring. So I'm interested. So I see on the bottom, it says, tiny little letters, disclaimer, not approved by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. Now, I've seen this on other things like over-the-counter diet pills and wrinkle creams. Disclaimer, not approved by the FDA. They can do this? How does this disclaimer thing work? So you go to the FDA and you say, I want approval to sell, I don't know, my own special homemade vitamins. Then the FDA says, no way, people will die. Then you get to tell the FDA, oh, well then, fuck you, I'm selling it anyway, with a disclaimer. Right? Other government agencies won't let you do that. The FAA is not going to let me fly a passenger jet just because my pre-flight announcement is, I'm your Captain David, we'll be in Atlanta in about 2 hours, God willing. Disclaimer, never had a lesson. Have no idea what these buttons and knobs do. Buckle up. The thing is, that ad for the snore had these like glowing reviews, like, best night's sleep ever from Mark, initial T. It saved my marriage from Susan F. Now I know that they're not using their full last names, you know, for privacy and what. But what's the purpose of the initial? Like, if it was just simply from Susan, I'm thinking, oh, there's gonna be like 4 or 5 million Susans in the US alone. Could be anybody. But Susan F, oh, she's good. I know her. She's the reason I bought the My Pillow. I think that's enough. Thank you. Oh, there it is. Just another half an hour and I'll get it. Thank you.
Good over David Schneider!
Thank you, thank you.
Guys, seriously, come on.
Oh yeah,
We're doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah.
We are ready for our headliner or
Yay.
what? Give it up for Jack Shaw!
Oh man, great job, guys. We're almost there, dude. 10 minutes is a long time. Yeah, I guess you thought it was gonna be a better business model or something. I don't think it is, just to be completely honest. I think I've heard a lot of people talk about how they don't like it. Anyway, okay, I'm really glad to be here, guys. Dude, I have a question for an older fellow like yourself. Well, actually, first of all, I do want to say I do love comedy, LA School of Comedy. It always reminds me I'm not the only person with autism, and it makes me feel, you know, welcome. We got autism from New York or wherever, right?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, okay. We got brotism. Patent, copyright, that's mine, Sam. Okay. I do have a, what? What?
No, I didn't.
You didn't want to say that?
No,
Okay, you can say something if you want. Don't shut up. Okay. I do have a question for a man as elderly as yourself. I'm elderly. Not like you're doing great. You're doing well. You're actually doing very well. Like I have my dad not doing good. Not doing well. But you're doing great. So just think about my dad when you think you're not doing well. You're doing great. So I do have a question for someone. I have it. Well, not for you. I have a question for you. Do you still masturbate?
Do I say religiously?
It's religious. Oh, good. Okay, because I always get really.
Married.
You're married too? Did you watch porn with her?
No.
Oh, she doesn't like the porn.
No, she doesn't mind porn, but
Oh, she likes it in the background.
exactly.
Okay, so you have dinner guests come over and you say, don't mind the background, that's just porn. Okay. I know what you mean.
I'm a gentleman.
You're a gentleman. Well, not when you search up on Pornhub, you're not. You don't search gentleman category, okay? You search up cum shot compilation, okay? I know what you do. I know exactly what you do. We're the same, okay? It's really nice to know you still masturbate because I always get afraid. Do you still masturbate?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Dude, and you talked about that story where you fell on the asphalt and I was looking at your shirt and said, lucky. I'm lucky. I'm lucky. Okay. I thought that when I was over there. I was like, that's going to be great. And then I said it. And now we're here. Okay. So, no, it's really good to know that you can still masturbate, man, because I'm always afraid that, oh, what if I don't masturbate? I have like some of this OCD, I have like some of this OCD stuff that's going on. You know what that, where you just obsessively, you know what I'm talking about with OCD? Do you know OCD?
I don't. But I know of it.
Yeah, no, it's obsessive compulsive disorder. So you get obsessive, and then you get compulsive, and then everyone's like, it's a disorder. So, but that's what it is. So I got this OCD, and I think if I don't masturbate at least once a day, my mom is not going to be happy with me. So I need to masturbate every day. So it's really nice to know that, you still masturbate. And I love masturbating. Do you guys masturbate? I know you masturbate. You got some great hair. You use you got like tree oil or something in your hair. Dude, what are you? Are you Filipino?
I got that. I've gotten that before.
No, but I'm not yet. What are you?
Japanese and Persian.
Wow. Wow. The other guy was making fun of Persia. I thought Persia was a place.
Iran, yeah.
Oh, it changed.
Yes, it did change.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, welcome to our country. Thank you so much for coming. I know you're new here by your perfect American accent. No, you're great. I don't remember why I said, because you have gray hair. You got gray hair. It's true. But I was talking about masturbating, so we can get back to that. Don't worry. Okay. All right. So I do love masturbating. Do you masturbate, Sam? Do you masturbate a lot? You don't masturbate a lot? Why?
I'm good.
But you can do it all the time. I found that out. You can do it all the time. I mean, people will get upset sometimes if you're around them. But you can do it. You can do it a lot. A lot. You can masturbate a lot. But I don't get, because a lot of people I look really unhappy when I masturbate. I always make a mean. I always get scrunched up in the face because I'm having an orgasm. It just pulls it all in my face. No one's ever smiling when they masturbate. No one's ever doing that. Do you do that?
Do I do that?
Do you smile when you masturbate?
This is crazy.
Do you smile when you masturbate? No, I don't think. Do you smile when you masturbate?
Smile.
No, you don't smile. Really?
Yeah.
That's crazier, dude. That's okay. We're gonna move on from that. Thank you guys. Working on it. We're all working on it, dude. And I love coming here because we're all working on it, dude. We're all working it out. Oh man, dude, you're not ready for this next thing I'm working on because I don't know what it is. What is it? Right here. Oh man, I quit my job, dude. I quit it. I had a terrible fucking job. I was working for this bullshit comedian. I was being his assistant. He's a real fucking prick, dude. He's a real piece of shit, dude. Real terrible type of guy. You know what I'm talking about. Dude, okay, so I was an assistant. I had access to everything, all of this bullshit. This dude was so, I'll just give you an idea of how bad this guy was. He's been going through this divorce for a long time. And we were working from his fucking home, dude, and he'd be screaming at the lawyers in the other room. Then his kids would come home, he'd scream about them, about how terrible their mother is, and then he'd come in there and yell at us. So that's just to give you a worldview of how shitty of a guy this guy was. So he's a real shit guy, and I have access to all of his shit, dude. All of his shit, all this big shit that this guy has. And one day during work, this was the tipping point. This is when I quit the job. All of a sudden, upstairs, we started to hear the num 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 num. We heard this kind of num num. We heard that sound, and I looked on his Amazon cart. It turns out he recently bought a penis pump, and he was using it during the workday. Okay? I thought my job sucked, but I didn't know it was literal. There we go. Okay, we took a while to get to it. Okay, this one's crazy too. Okay, so my girlfriend told me I have a supple cock, and I did not like that she said that to me. Have you ever seen a supple cock? You ever seen a supplicated? You wanna? She told me supple. I looked up supple. Supple means bendable. I thought I was gonna come up with something else to say when I started saying it, but then I did not. Okay. People have told me that I look like Jerry Seinfeld in the past, and I don't like that. They told me that. You don't seem to agree, and I don't agree either, but they said I looked like that. And I had this Uber driver recently, and I was telling him I do stand-up, and he says, "Oh, you look like Jerry Seinfeld." I said, "Oh, thanks, man." He said, "I fucking hate Jerry Seinfeld." And that's why I don't want to look like that guy, man. I pee in pools. I do. I pee in pools every time. How are you gonna know if it turns blue or not? You gotta pee in it. Okay. I went on a roller coaster. And I screamed, and a little girl called me a pussy. Okay. I teach traffic safety to kids for some money. I do. I teach traffic safety to kids. It sucks when you lose one, really, because that's. I mean, how else are you gonna learn? Okay. Here's something you never hear. Here's something you never hear. Boy, that Kyle Rittenhouse could really light up a room. You ever hear that? You ever hear that, Sam?
No.
Yeah. Bet. Oh man.
Similar.
What? What'd you say?
I said I've heard similar.
Do you? Oh, you okay?
I work here.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I can't make my girlfriend come, but I can make her fart. There's a one-liner for you. I was calling my dad. I was calling up my dad because he needs a hearing aid. So he was like, "Get on the phone and do you have a hearing aid?" No. Oh, well, okay. Okay. He needed a hearing aid. He asked me to call up because he couldn't hear people when he was making phone calls. So I called up for him. I was like, "Hi, is this the hearing aid office?" And they said, "What?" Okay. Thank you so much, guys. I'm Jack Shaw. Have a great night, everybody. On Instagram, hi Jack Shaw. Thank you, guys. Very good job.
Give it up for Jack Shaw, everybody! I feel like you can find him on a lot of shows you didn't say, but next time we'll find out. Look each other up. Let's all follow each other. Let's all stalk each other. I've been Sam. We're here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I love you guys. Give it up for Jackie and Jason one more time. And good night.